Hey, welcome in, folks. Babbage and Eater here. We're back in the Long Dark, currently getting ready to head into the ravine. Let's see if the wind is still blowing. No, we got good weather right now. Let's take advantage of this. I think we have mag lens. Yeah, we do. Yeah, so welcome in, folks. We are in the middle, over halfway through this tournament run. And although it's true, we finally have geared up and have a bow and arrows and some points on the board, we are way behind where we should be. Actually, let's add a little bit more here. That was terrible. Okay, that's good. We'll keep this one. Yeah, so big news. I had a job interview, Zoom meeting interview this morning. I think it went pretty well. I would probably rate it a B, maybe a B plus. Not the best interview I've ever done, not the worst. Hopefully came across competent, but I did do the thing where when I get a little nervous, I like speed up and I talk a little too fast, and I also get anxious and I try to over explain things or add too many details, and yeah, that's not helpful. I hate interviews with passion, to be honest. I find that I really struggle Oh, you're not helping us at all, buddy. We gotta give up. We'll just go to the ravine. Yeah, I get a little nervous and a little anxious, and then I talk too much. Or I worry that I've given an overly complex statement when something simpler would have been sufficient. There's a part of me that just does not like interviews because they always feel like performance. I mean, they are performance. And that, I'd rather just be evaluated on my ability to do the job than my ability to perform in an interview. And partly that comes out of like a history where I've seen people perform well in interviews and do terribly on the job. And other people who would never have survived the interview process and were just hired based on their reputation and their previous work experience. And yeah, they don't do well under interview pressure, but they are phenomenal at the job. But what can you do? So, I mean, you can go into business for yourself, is basically what it is. And I've done that before.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Oh, well, we were here before. Yeah, because we forged over in Forlorn Muskeg. I had dinner earlier and I decided to have like not quite a full second helping, but I did have a second helping. And I was like, now I'm regretting it. I'm too full. I really should have had that extra. Maybe I'll sleep in a little bit tomorrow. We take all the, yeah, we do take all this stuff we want. So yeah, other than the interview, pretty light day, just more notes and research for my work for a couple hours, and then I was wrapped up for the week, and then spent the morning basically prepping for the interview, and then interview 11 to 11:45. Then ran a couple errands, did a tiny bit of shopping, grocery shopping, and then I don't know, came back. Watched a few episodes of The Rookie, which I never got a chance to see when it first came out, so I've been trying to. I know it's good. And it's funny. And thankfully it doesn't annoy me too much. Ooh. Let's hold it together. We just started the stream. Can't fall asleep on stream. You know, there's a couple of years ago when I was started streaming, sometimes I'd stream so long or start so late that I'd be practically nodding off middle of the stream. Not a good look. I mean, it was so bad, it was kind of my trademark. Now it's just yawning. Now I just yawn every so often. Like that, right? Just like a convenient yawn. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, are we going to push all the way through to Mystery Lake, or are we going to do some hunting in here? I say we try to get some hunting in. Okay, let's drop everything that needs to be cured. Don't shoot him on the rock. And he ran away. Okay. Hey, Roller. Good to see you. I was just saying that I had my job interview this morning at 11. And I think it went reasonably well. I mean, was it the best interview I've ever done? No. I'd give myself maybe a B for it. I thought some of my answers were a little long-winded. I could have figured out how to be a little bit more compressed, a little bit more condensed, and some of them felt a little rambly, and I don't know. But I don't think I said anything that was wrong, and I don't think I said anything that was terrible. I just feel like it could have been a little bit more organized. I have no idea who else they're interviewing. I don't know how accommodating they are for people like me that are somewhat I don't know. It's like for certain types of interviews I get kind of nervous and anxious, and then I tend to overcompensate and say too much. And it was like, I guess one of the things I liked about, computer programmer type interviews is that frequently they just give you a bunch of exams and quizzes and challenges, and then you just do them, and then they say, yep, knows how to do the job. Good. Knows how to identify bugs and problems. Knows how to troubleshoot. Knows how to write a sort. I don't know. I also know I'm usually pretty hard on myself. I think I've had enough close calls, near misses, runner-up type roles that I kind of beat myself up about it. Where's our deer at? It ran away. Anyways, they're supposed to notify the people who made it to the next stage in a couple weeks. So sounds like they're really hoping to finish the search before January. You're a long ways away.
I can't feel my feet.
Yeah, over his head. Usually there's two in here. Oh, he turned.
Damn. I'm freezing.
There he is. We got another one. Ah, took too long to get the shot off. Hmm. That go or not go? Nope, that hit. Just couldn't get the right angle. My accuracy on this run is terrible. I'm like so bad with my shots right now. We'll get one to bleed out. Maybe if we're lucky we'll get this other one. Oh, there we go. Much better. We got some meat. So yeah, Thursday was my graduation ceremony. So I was on campus by 7 a.m. It's insane. To get my gown and cap and all the other stuff. Get lined up. We had an 8:30 ceremony. It was nice. It was actually quite I don't know, I was very impressed with the ceremony. I thought that they, instead of having one or two big ceremonies, the university breaks it up over 2 days, and there's lots of smaller, like 2-hour ceremonies instead of like a 4 or 5 hour long ceremony. They, there's suitable pomp and circumstance, fancy, they got the impressive music and processionals, and you get to see all the professors and the, everyone's in their gowns. I was in the processional for the master's students because my degree is a master's in library and information science, but I did look at the PhD students, and they're very fancy and actually quite nice looking PhD attire and their fancy hats. And I thought, they look pretty cool. I would almost do a second PhD for that. It was almost. And it was really nice when they crossed the stage for the PhD students. They would announce the student by name and then read a short description of what their PhD research was. And so you get to see and hear what their contribution was to the field. So I thought that was pretty cool. And for us, they basically just read they broke us up by department and degree, and then it went by pretty quickly because they would just read our names and across the stage, have our photo op, and be back in our seats. But it was very well run. Well, my PhD that I did was back in 2015, and I remember that we had a really large ceremony, and we spent a long time waiting. It was painful, and it was hot. It was Los Angeles. It was out in the sun. And then after our ceremony, we had a reception in our department, and it was, this is not the super big reception because that happened earlier in those people that graduated in April probably had a much bigger reception than we did. This reception was people that graduated in the over the summer, finished up their degree requirements, and grade 6. We'll leave the 0.1, we don't need it. Yeah, but it was nice. Because they grouped us by our degree and discipline, I did get to, spend time sitting with people that I actually knew and was in classes, had classes with good friends. Oops. So it was nice. But yeah, so done, I guess. I think I'm working all the way through until like the 16th. If the job search committee decides to move me on to the next stage, then they are talking about probably doing a in-person interview in December. So depending on when they want to do that, that will either be before I go home for the holidays, or I may fly from Saskatchewan there. But one way or another, it should be fine. It's just that it's going to take up some time. I'll have to fly there and then spend the day on campus, and then the next day fly back. And depending on whether or not those are direct flights, it could be kind of a painful set of layovers. Okay, let's do water. Okay, so at this point, what do we have? I think we have 2 more dead deer. We are currently sitting at almost 50%. Is that better than 50%? That might be better than 50%. It's still not great. Let's see, 21. No, we're at 55%. Not quite back to 60. Oh, and then I was going to check how many deer we had. Yep, we're at 4 deer. So that's another 6. And 28. Oops, that's not what I want.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Go back to our first cave. That one's warmer than the one closest to the exit. I mean, I guess the other thing we could have done was could have gone out to the trailer on the other side. We just want all the saplings though that we left behind. Yeah. Hold on, I'll be back in a sec. Oh, I forgot to turn the mic back on. Look at that. So, yeah. Anyways, we are going to survived our overnight nap in the cave, go back to the other side, pick up our saplings, make our way back to the dam where I think we're going to be able to craft another bow and some more arrows. Oops. I'm really messing up tonight. Okay, you didn't miss much. We just camped in the cave, woke up overnight, did not freeze to death. Is it a dead person or is this our dead deer? Oh, this is the one with our arrow. Perfect.
My fingers feel numb.
Yeah, sadly, I think this is going to be just a run to turn in so we have a run. And we'll probably have to try again. Now, I was saying that I have a, the interview I did earlier today, they said they'll get back to me in a couple weeks. And if I do go on to the next stage, that they're flying me out to Toronto, most likely early December, so might be before my trip home, might be after I get back to Saskatchewan, and then I'll have to fly from Saskatchewan to Toronto. Vancouver to Toronto would be much easier. I mean, it's longer, but it's also more likely to have a direct flight.
So cold
I'll have to figure out what to wear in the campus visit. Gone are the days that people go for academic job interviews dressed in a traditional suit. Now, especially for librarians, it's like you want to look formal, but you also don't want to look formal. You want to look like a professional, but also have your own distinct individual flair. Again, it's all this performative stuff that I really can't stand. It's like there's a part of me that loved being a programmer back in the day when you could just wear jeans and t-shirts and that was your simple attire. It was like didn't have to put a lot of thinking into it. It was like you were just there to do a job, you did your job really well, and everyone was happy. Yeah. So close.
barely walk with this much gear.
I mean, should we wait an hour or should we just grab our stuff? The weather's good. I'm worried if we wait, we'll lose the weather. So. But there is an argument for waiting so that we can save on heating ourselves up. Okay, so let's do this then. Perfect. So I've been thinking about what I need to do then, and I think what it translates to is probably buy some nice dress pants, dress slacks. I don't need to buy a new suit at this point. Unless they make me a deal on the suit that's too hard to pass. But I think most likely I'll just want to buy a nice pair of trousers, dress pants. And yeah. It's debatable if I want to buy another nice dress shirt. I have one really nice one already. It's still in good shape. A couple other ones that are decent. I'm only on campus for one day. I will probably do either like dress shirt, tie, slacks with a sweater or with a cardigan if you want to go real librarian, all in on that. Yeah. If I could find a good deal on kind of a blazer, a sports coat that I liked, then I would do that, but that's kind of a pain. I feel like everything always needs alteration, so. But yeah, I think like the whole dress up for interview thing is also all part of this professional performance thing that I, on some level, find really annoying. And that's coming from someone that actually likes to dress up. I do like to dress up. I just find like it's all a performance, and a lot of the things that you're judged on, or you feel like you're being judged on, have very little to do with your ability to do the job. It's like, but we've made this whole ritual out of it, where these conventions, these expectations for what you're supposed to look like and what you're supposed to do, and how you project confidence or competence is all wrapped up in these performance things. And yeah, I think it was kind of a little bit I don't know if it was offsetting. It was just a little bit. It was interesting because they chose to do the interview as a voice-only interview, which meant that it didn't matter what you wore for the interview. I actually did dress, at least the top half, even though the camera was off. I put on a shirt and tie. I made myself feel like I was in a professional setting to do the interview. But yeah, I don't know if it helped. Were they AI? I don't think they were. I also find like they wanted to ask 9 questions in 45 minutes. So it's about 5 minutes per question. Plus, they did introductions at the beginning, so really it was more like 4 minutes per question.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
So it went by really fast. Yep, yep. And so I was constantly watching the clock to see how close we were. Like, were we on track to get through the questions? And was I going too long in my responses? And was there enough time for me to ask smart questions at the end? I did do that. I did prepare some good questions at the end that I thought would at least be helpful for them and for me. Okay. Our top priority here is to make a new bow and some new arrows because we are almost out. But yeah, I do feel like the all day interview is a different type of stress because they're just watching you the whole day long. But then also, if you're good at reading body language, it can be very helpful to kind of to gauge, how people are responding to you as to whether or not you feel like you are doing well. Okay. Let's see here. These are not done. No, we only have one. That's unfortunate. Oh, now it's too windy to do a fire out there. Oh, this is useful. It now tells you the percentage, how close you are to being done. This is what I was worried about. This one's almost done. Yeah, our bow's about ready to break. Wow, all our torches are in terrible shape.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, let's get this fire started.
Come on, little fire.
So yeah, I think the most promising part of the interview is that they confirmed that they're looking for someone with basically exactly what I do, you know, which is quantitative analysis, quantitative text analysis, and data analysis. And mostly the work I've been doing for the last, you know, year and a half. So. I just don't know if, I don't know. Sometimes I worry I like forget to state the obvious things. Focus on too many details. But, yeah. Okay, 2 hours.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
On day 30, we've got 20 days left. We've got so much to do to catch up. Well, at least the interview is done, right? There's nothing else I can do at this point. I can keep my eye out for some other positions. Then I can just wait. And in the meantime, just keep working. So. Okay, keep pushing. Next stop, camp office.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer. All I can think about is food.
Not seeing any wolves. This is not good. Whew. Hey! Happy not a Canadian holiday? Yes. No, it was a special day yesterday. It was graduation day for me, and then so I walked the stage to receive my master's in library and information studies, and so that was fun. My mother flew in for that and spent the day. And then today, this morning, I had an interview for a position out on the East Coast in Canada. Where are you coming from? So we'll see how that plays out. Should find out something in a couple weeks. Don't have that many arrows. So yeah, thanks for the sub, AG. Good to see you back. Who's next? Ugh, this guy's running off with my arrows. Yeah, this is a really slow progressing tournament run. We had some pretty significant delays in getting started, and so kind of hurt. But I think we're on track to finish it. As long as we don't do anything stupid like try to hunt the cougar again. That was the previous tournament attempt, as we lost on day like 45, 46 because I stupidly tried to hunt a cougar and got severely lacerated and then bled out while trying to recover overnight. I ended up dying day 46, and I was like, all we need to do is make it to 50 days. We could have like had an official completion. Failed. Got greedy.
God, I'm starving.
Ooh. Nope, I see. Going for the classic. Baba. Bark, 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 bark. There you go. Yeah. And a hydrate as well. These wolves died yet? Wolves killed 13. They have not died yet. I have to sit around and wait for them to die. Okay, let's see. Are you dead yet? Yep, 2 more down. $38. 30 days survived. Let me go find the yeah, it's me just being Saskatchewan. Dressed for Saskatchewan weather. Ooh, we have visibility again.
Man, all I can think about is food. This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Nope. This is where we left our birch saplings. Yeah, it's not cold out here, it's just brisk.
Barely walk with this much gear.
Now let's go clean up our torches. Yeah, so welcome in, Jeff the Jar. Yeah, I live in the Long Dark. I spend all my time here, and I'm actually always... I've gone through a portal into the other world, and I now live on Great Bear.
I could eat anything right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll live off of my ketchup chips and reishi mushrooms. We now have so many. So many arrow shafts.
Oh, I'm starving. Can you eat trees?
Where are we at right now with gear? 5 arrows. We need a new bow.
I could eat a horse. That's saying a lot, because I love horses.
Yeah, well, acquainted with wind chill. I spent a good chunk of my childhood in Saskatchewan, so... Oh, that was cold. I've experienced wind chills that have dropped the temperature down to minus 63 Celsius. Don't recommend it.
All I can think about is food.
Okay, so I think in terms of arrows now, we have 7. Take a break, go out here and hunt.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Or not. That's a knot. Okay, I think we'll just accept that we're going to have... Gonna starve. We'll avoid it.
I'm so hungry. Not sure I can carry much more. I could eat anything right now.
Okay. Guess we're sharpening our knife.
I could eat anything right now.
Okay.
My stomach is eating itself.
Okay. I think we're good now. $32.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Yeah, I got him. Would have been nice if he fell down right away, but... the wind's picking up again. That's a death trap. I think what we go for this time is we go for the cave up top.
Gotta warm up somehow. If I don't warm up soon.
See if he dropped yet. Nope. Hey, Flightless Rain, how did your stream go? I saw that you were streaming earlier. Popped in, lurked for a couple seconds, and then took care of a few things before this stream. Long but good. This tournament run is like the longest and least productive tournament run I've done so far. 12 hours? Oh. I do not have 12 hours in me for a stream. I think I top out usually about 4 or 5 hours. And most nights I just do 2 hours. Yep. Now, come January, once I am done with my current job, and perhaps if I haven't started the next job, I will probably stream more. We'll see. Well, I was so I had a job interview earlier today on Zoom, and one of the questions they asked me was they asked me about like the best work environment I've ever been in and the worst work environment I've ever been in, and why. And so I kind of commented on the fact that, you know, in a strange way, they were the same. Like when I worked in the games industry, when I very first started out at that company, it was still had a startup feel. It felt like a little community or a village, and everyone pulled together. And they did like company birthday parties every month, and there was just a lot of camaraderie and it's just like a lot of attention to each other. It felt like a family. And in fact, I didn't mention this, but the Facebook group is still, they created a Facebook group for the former employees of the company, you know. And so at first it was great, but then it got bought and then sold and then bought and sold a few times until it ended up in this like megacorp. And by the time I was, you know, finishing up my time there, it was 14 layers of management between us and the people at the top. And the work environment had been increasingly toxic, you know, very antagonistic, very dismissive, and sometimes like emotionally abusive and not physically, but like verbally and emotionally abusive space to work in. It was same company, but different upper management and different work culture. You made a bow, single arrow. Now it's your one true arrow, right? The black arrow never failed you. Yeah. Hatchet and hacksaw. You're getting there. Could have on those ptarmigan, but yeah, the hacksaw solves that problem because you can always hack apart things that you know, metal shelves and all sorts of other things. But I would also collect like the pry bars. If you have extra pry bars, they can be dismantled, and I think you get actually two.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
2 pieces for 1 pry bar. Also dismantle, like, if you have a hacksaw, you can dismantle the toasters. Those are also pretty quick. It's still early on your loper run. Wolf chasing you led him to the deer. Got a free meal. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Totally do that. Can opener is also another free piece of scrap metal. Once you've made a knife or a hatchet, you don't actually need a can opener. And they're pretty lightweight, so. Just boil more water. Okay, has our wolf fallen over yet? Yep, our wolf is dead. So. $143. Day 32. Yeah, so this is really not a great run. We need to kill a lot more bears if we're going to be viable.
Barely walk with this much gear.
Okay. You did get sleep today. Well, good for you. Well, I definitely didn't get a lot. Well, I guess I kind of went to bed early last night. But I was up super early. And then I also woke up pretty, well, I woke up my usual time today. But it was kind of a restless night because I kept thinking about the interview. Knew that was coming. Let's see. Wow. That's not a good thing. I have to make more bandages. But I can't afford to not be able to use a weapon on our way down. Wait a sec, you might not get any sleep at all? Well, that would be not good. Yeah. Sleep's important. Speaking of, I will probably wrap up in about 15 minutes. And
this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so how many arrows? 11 arrows. Okay, feeling a little bit more confident about that. 2 finished bows. We can drop one of these. Pimp my bunker? Someone else's poem. I have not gone that gung-ho with that.
Can you eat trees? 'Cause I'm gonna eat a tree. I'm gonna need to eat soon.
Okay, 15 arrows. Okay, we should be good for a while. We can make another
Find something to eat.
15. Okay. Yeah, let's figure out what we're doing next.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Wind. It's gonna make any sort of hunt a pain. Okay, so we are officially on day 33. It's so slow. Such a low score on this one. Oh well. We'll do better next time. Yeah, so next time we should hunt the bear on the lake and try to pick up the rest of the wolves. And then keep moving. Yeah, so let's figure out what is next, or, well, what's next is to read some poetry. So, to Roller asks for a poem. Okay, let's see what we have here. Let's see. I think I'll try something from so I have a local poet friend by the name of Daniela Elza, who has a book of poetry out called Scar City or Scarcity. And I'll try to pick something from here. Okay. Oops. Actually, accidentally disconnected my headset. Brilliant. Okay, so let's try that again. Adversity, which is adversity. You speak to me in skylines, the techno of concrete walls, cacophonies of light and noise collide with glass and asphalt. Instead of ocean chants and mountains, the wind can't tell the difference. It scales the heights of scrapers, shoves us around the corner of Burrard and Hastings. You sold $1 million views, then took away the view. You upzone our loneliness, rezone our dislease, and our relationships, our skies. The regiments of your high-rises have started their own weather channels. Clouds and smoke take turns, rubbing against windows we cannot open. Most creatures here are out of place and out of sorts, inaudible to themselves amidst the days of your daily nonchalance. So kind of speaking to Vancouver's tendency to overbuild luxury, lots of luxury condos and hotels that end up taking up space where we could have more affordable. Apparently I'm frozen here. Where's my camera going? There we go. So yeah, it's odd. Anyways, so that was from Scar City by Daniela Elza. And we'll read one more poem from me. Let's see, who can we, or what shall we read tonight? Poem chooser, any inspirations? Yeah, we can do that. Babbage attempting to solve for the unknown. Okay, so this is from Babbage's Dream, my second book of poetry, published in 2017 by Sundress Publications. Babbage, this is Charles Babbage, 19th century mathematician and computer pioneer. Babbage, attempting to solve for the unknown. Let X be the rain that falls in a year. Let it be what overflows from the cisterns and wells, from whatever vessels are set upon the walls of the city or buried in its depths. Even this water must have some place to go. All year it grows line after line, parallel to the earth, to the lip of crumpled brick, to the dark felt of shadow that runs the length of a fallow field. Let it be the solution to the bodies of gray-feathered birds, to the cats thrown at you by children, to the withering snap of ash and maple, to the flaming stacks of smoke, to the countless sighs in a factory line. Let it be what the rose seller dreams on foggy Sunday mornings when the church bells swing wide over the dim and eager graves, the stones that mark where a wife and 2 children lie. Let it be whatever and whoever will not awake again in this house, though you count their breaths to the very last, though the tables are full of their song. So this poem kind of takes its inspiration from some of the sections in one of Babbage's books, which is bestseller. His international best-selling book was called it was called On Machines and Manufacturers, and it was an economic study of he researched all the factories and production houses of England, studying how their processes worked, as well as what did they throw away and what did they keep, and what were their strategies or approaches for doing things. And they looked for ways to maximize efficiencies and look for ways to take whatever was being thrown away from one process and see if there was another industry that could use it and redirect it in a productive way. And so it was a lot of number crunching, but also a really deep study of the interconnectedness of all these different industries. So it ended up being a bestseller, which is weird, but kind of cool. And it also was the inspiration for Marx and Engels' Das Kapital, which was their deep study into means of production and capitalism. And so, and they actually credit Babbage at the start of their book. So it's really kind of funny how Babbage's curiosity about how these things fit together became so influential for so many other people. And at the same time, this poem is about how his retreat into numbers coincides. I mean, he was always a mathematician, but he seemed to go even harder into math and into the work on the analytical engine after he lost his wife and his 2 children to a fever epidemic. And so the tables at the end are kind of ambiguous. They're either the physical tables in the house, or they're the mathematical tables that he was calculating by machine. And so logarithmic tables or sine tables, trigonometric tables, their values, the functional values evaluated at different places. And so, which was actually ultimately the inspiration for the difference engine that started the whole process that led to the analytical engine. Anyways, a little behind the scenes, a little humanity behind the mathematician and behind the story of what would have been the first computer. So, thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble. Let's figure out where we're going next. So let's see here. So who do we got? We got Prof Niels, we definitely have to drop in on Prof. He's got a gun. Is he doing Stalker? That's interesting. Or is he doing a different challenge now? We'll find out. Let's go and visit Prof Niels and see. Okay, so thank you all for hanging out. We'll be back again, not tomorrow night. I think possibly Monday night, or definitely next Tuesday. We'll see.